All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just had the Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. fight, as well as UFC 317, and we also had the Deontay Wilder fight that happened on Friday. But without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. The Chavez Jr. and Jake Paul fight was scheduled for a 10-round bout in Anaheim, California. It was supposed to be an exciting event, but it actually turned out to be a very disappointing event. Now, all the other fights on that card were pretty good. The first fight, Floyd Schofield versus Tevin Farmer. I was excited for Tevin Farmer to make his return to the ring. I did not expect Floyd to have that much power. He put out Tevin Farmer in the very first round. In the first couple of seconds, he knocked him down, and then he knocked him down again right after, and the ref had to stop the fight. It was a phenomenal performance from Floyd. He proved that he could be in the ring with these champions, including Shakur Stevenson, which he did call him out. Of course, this fight is bound to happen now, especially after knocking out Tevin Farmer that William Zepeda couldn't do, and William Zepeda's going against Shakur Stevenson. So if Shakur secures a major knockout during that fight against William Zepeda in the Ring 3 card, then we're going to have ourselves an amazing fight between Floyd Schofield and Shakur Stevenson. I'm not going to really talk too much about the Zurdo Ramirez fight because I low-key fell asleep. I was really tired. I had boxing training that day. But I will say that from the first 4 rounds that I did see, it looks like Zurdo Ramirez was having a little bit of trouble against Dortitos. And, you know, he was getting peppered by shots. He was on the back foot the entire time. He wasn't really as aggressive, but I guess I missed the other 8 rounds. He was actually putting on the pace after, and he proved himself to be the victor of this fight. And then we have the Jake Paul and Chavez fight, which was ultimately the most lackluster thing I have seen in a very long time. And I know I said that about the Tyson fight, and I know I said that about the Haney fight, Haney versus Ramirez, but this fight was so disappointing that I felt like I was watching Jake Paul hit a punching bag the entire time. Like he was hitting a heavy bag. And no disrespect to Chavez Sr., but Chavez Jr. was a major disappointment in this fight. His dad and his mom was looking at the ring of utter disgust after that fight was done. And Chavez Jr. just would not throw a punch. He went the first 8 rounds without throwing a real punch or two. And maybe I thought the strategy was that he was going to hold off on throwing any punches until Jake Paul got tired. It looked like Chavez Jr. was absorbing a lot of the shots that was coming towards him against Jake Paul. Yet the issue is he was not throwing a punch back. And he's supposed to be the pro fighter. He has 54 wins underneath his belt. And he fought last year against Uriah Hall, the 6-round bout. He pretty much did the same thing in that fight, in this fight. And honestly, like, really? Are we really playing around with Jake Paul? People want to think he doesn't have power. And I don't want to say he's not a boxer because he's been training like a professional for many, many years now. And he's starting to develop the skills of a true boxer. Not a world champion, but a boxer. And he looks good. He looked really good in the ring. He was throwing a lot of body shots and body jabs. Jake Paul's jab was like his best weapon during that fight. But Chavez Jr. had a couple of looping hooks that were stunning Jake, and I think Jake got hurt at round 9. But there was nothing after that. Chavez Jr. would rush in with the high guard and not throw anything. He won't throw any overhands or looping hooks, any body hooks. He won't try to trick Jake. He won't go upstairs or downstairs. And that was a major issue because he didn't throw anything. Another theory that I did have is he looked kind of nervous going into this fight. And I think he wanted the first 2 rounds to see how his power felt. And like you can see Chavez from round 1 to round 10 and his comfortability. Chavez around 1 looked like he had bricks on his feet, and Chavez around 10, he was moving around a lot more nicely around the ring with Jake Paul, and even putting Jake on the back foot. But like I said before, he wasn't really throwing anything. So the after fight presser that happened, the questionnaires that everybody was asking, it looks like Jake Paul, even when he was in the ring after the fight, he mentioned that he wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. He wants to fight Zurdo Ramirez, and he wants to move up in the rankings, because now he's going to be ranked by the WBA, if I'm not mistaken. And he is going to potentially fight world champions from here on out. We'll see how Jake Paul's journey goes from here on out. So let's talk a little bit about UFC 317. I didn't really get a chance to watch that card. I was really focusing on the Jake Paul and Chavez card, but I did see the Oliveira and Topuria fight, and it was very short. Ilia Topuria has to be the best boxer in the UFC at this time. This man is on a generational run in the UFC. He has put out 3 consecutive world champions, Volk, Max Holloway, and Charles Oliveira. And he has no signs of slowing down. This man's going for Paddy Pimblett next. And the thing is that Max Holloway was considered to be the best boxer in the UFC, and he got outclassed. And same for Charles Oliveira. Great ground game. His ground game was ultimately disrupted by Ilia Topuria. So this man is going to be a major problem in the lightweight division. And on top of that, he might go up to fight Makhachev, which, could it be a problem? We'll see. You know, let's see if he gets past Paddy Pimblett, which we all know he's going to. And we'll see what's next for Ilia Topuria in his journey in the lightweight division. Last but not least, let's talk about Deontay Wilder a little bit. Deontay Wilder did win his bout. You know, I'm very proud for him. He has been on a losing streak against world champions. Now, he did win his last bout. What's next for him? Maybe Anthony Joshua. I think Anthony Joshua is going to be on the table again by Turkey. I think Turkey was mentioning he wanted Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua before Wilder lost his last bout, so we'll see how that goes for Deontay Wilder. But to end off this video, I got 2 announcements I got to make. It looks like Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney are going to be facing each other. It's going to be happening next for Devin Haney. Can't wait to see it. And then we also got the Chris Eubank Jr. versus the Conor Benn fight. The second fight rematch is happening in September. It has just been announced today by Matchroom. And also, Raul Curiel might be facing Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero might have a challenge against him. Raul Curiel during the Jake Paul bout against Victor Rodriguez was an amazing fight. Raul Curiel stopped Victor Rodriguez in round 4. It was a great bout. You know, it was a good fight for Raul Curiel. Now it's time for Rolly to have his first title defense. And I will be reporting more news on that as the time goes on. I really appreciate you for making it this far. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below what you would like to see next. And this is Box Talk. My name is Ray the Commentator, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.